What's up everybody? Are you ready for another 3-hour long video? Well, you've got it, because we're gonna go over all the light monsters and see if they're any good for Trial of Ascension. Dear God, help us all. Let's get started. Oh, before I forget, if you did not see the other ones, this is like the 4th one. We did the other elements already. If you did not see the other ones, this is just talking about Trial of Ascension. This is not talking about Arena, PvP, anything else. This is just talking about Trial of Ascension, which monsters are good for TOA. Alright. And this is the light ones. I have the first monster, Varus. Low elemental, decreased attack power, decreased defense. Not for TOA, no. There's no area of effect skills. There's no team buffers or anything like that. We have Taru. Holy Spear. I was gonna say something else. Holy something else. Increased attack speed for 2 turns if you get a critical hit. He's got pretty decent attack for already, actually. And then we have Light Ball. Throws a Light Ball, stuns the enemy for 1 turn. Light Ball's not bad. And then Furious Pierce. This ignores defense and receives a 50% critical rate bonus. For TOA, no. He's too squishy, and aside from like one really great single target attack, he really doesn't bring too much else to the table. Alright, so then we have Cheryl. Well, the stun, but he fizzles out pretty quick. And you need some staying power for TOA. We have Spirit Ball attacks the enemy with an energy ball. 50% chance to increase the chances of landing a glancing hit. Continues damage for 3 turns, not excited about for TOA. Revives dead allies randomly and fills up their HP by 15%. If you need a reviver and this is all you have, maybe, but there's better if you have Brian. He's a much better reviver. He's got an AoE. So, we have Archajon. Decrease attack speed for 1 turn. Chance to stun the enemy for 1 turn, okay. Increase your attack power for 2 turns. For the next 3 turns, you have 50% chance to counterattack whenever an ally is attacked. We really don't need this. We really don't need this because we don't want the allies to get attacked in the first place. We want to do area of effect crowd controls, and we don't really want to have to worry about any of that. So he's got no area of effect skills, and he just counters. So, not really too worried about that one. I would not recommend him for TOA. Now we have Shamar. What? Good job with the blue nail polish, dog. Okay, so bite your enemy and recover 30% damage as HP. Continuously to inflict great damage, and clash attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn and reduces their attack speed for 2 turns. If this was an AoE, this would be amazing. But alas, it is not an AoE, it is just a single target attack, and he's pretty squishy as it is, so I would not recommend him either. We have Sharman, the quilted quicker, no, it's Bounty, the quicker quilted picker-upper. Alright, so we have decreased attack power on the first one, decreased attack speed on the second one, and immunity against freeze and stun effects that increases the recovery amount you receive by 100%. This guy actually might not be that bad for raids, but as far as TOA is concerned, really I wouldn't recommend him either. No area of effect skills, no team buffs, no anything like that. We have Shushu, attacks and increase your attack bar by 30%, removes all harmful effects on you and the target ally, and recovers 20% of your HP. We want more than that. Recovers the HP of all allies by 20%, recovers the ally with the lowest HP by 20% one more time. Not a bad heal, If that's one of the monsters you're working with and you don't have like Jasun or Bello or anything like that, that might be okay. We have Janssen Throwing Ax. Attacks with a flying axe, inflicts continuous damage for 3 turns with a 30% chance. Not excited. Attack bar increases if you land a critical hit. Not excited. Fills up the attack bar of all allies by 50% and recovers 15% of their HP. Attack bar increase and recovers 15% of their HP. That's not the worst. That's not the worst skill. It's a team buff and heal. It's 50%. You'd really have to, I would say maybe violent and high speed for this, but he's not the monster that I love the most. There's other monsters that I think are better that fit that kind of place, you know. We have Neil, stuns with the first skill. Nice, I like that. Recovers target's HP and removes all the harmful effects. Recovery amount is proportionate to the attack power. Okay, we don't really want them to have harmful effects because we want to make sure that our enemies are not moving. Removes the ally's harmful effect and makes them invincible for 2 turns. No, still no. Still doesn't go with what we're trying to do for TOA. Kabila, weaken defense here. Attack multiple enemies at once. Could be good with Despair. What is this? Increase attack bar of all allies by 30%. Decreases chances of being hit with a critical hit. Actually, now she just changed to maybe not Despair. With Despair, you could hit multiple enemies with this, but with this, you could potentially keep doing this over and over and over again. Might be nice. So she might not be that bad for TOA. For a team buff. Okay, we have Lucia. I already know people are using him for TOA. Let's see what he does. Reduce the enemy's attack gauge by 25%. Not that bad. Crouch recovers your HP and increases defense. And Risky Dash inflicts damage proportional to the enemy's max HP. Consumes 10% of your HP. So it's kind of like Spectra's second skill. In my opinion, Spectra's much better for TOA though. Just because Spectra has an awesome third skill. It's an AoE attack gauge reducer, plus it's a speed, it's a decreased speed. I would say Spectra all day over Lucia for this, but Spectra doesn't have a self-heal like Lucia does. I know people that have used Lucia in TOA 100 to do more damage to the boss, but I think maybe Spectra would be better for that though. So I would recommend Spectra ahead of Lucia. Then we have Priz, continuous damage, inflict damage proportion to the enemy's max HP. Nice, okay, so it could be good against bosses. And then we have decreases inflicted damage on the ally from water. Inflicted damage on the ally from water, fire, and wind attributes by 20%. The effect is not accumulated with other decrease damage effects. Like, for example, Darien. We really have to try this Priz and see. I don't want to say too much about Priz because we really didn't try him. I really want to try Priz out, and then see if he's good. We have Onslaught. We have Tion. Attacks the enemy at breakneck speed. May stun the enemy with a 24% chance. Stun is good for the first skill. Resurge, same as Konamiya, is good for the second skill because this is very flexible. It is. Whoever you want to attack next gets to attack next. It's pretty nice. If you want to attack, if you want to research Tion next, that's great. If you want to research, if you have Beretta, you want to research Beretta next. If you want to research Vertiheal, and Vertiheal can do some more attacks and then increase the attack gauge of everyone else. You know, or maybe you're a healer, maybe you want to do Bella, whatever. This is pretty flexible. I like this. Then we revive a dead ally and recovers the HP of all allies by 20% each. If there are no allies revived by this skill, the cooldown decreases by 2 turns. So you can just use it as a heal, or you can use it as a revive and heal. So if you don't have other revivers, I think Tion is pretty decent to put in there. You can definitely use Tion if you're in a place that you need a reviver. We have Bella, defense break, first skill. Seize, second skill, removes all beneficial effects on the target. I'm not really in TOA. Bella doesn't really shine with her first 2 skills, but the mobilize is great. Fills the attack bar, which means you get a lot of extra attacks. You get your other monsters get their turns next, and we have a pretty decent heal on there too. So I think Bella for this mobilize. The defense break is never bad. The seize is, but we don't really want them to get, harmful. We don't want them to get any beneficial effects in the first place. So the Bella would be there for the heal and the attack gauge boost. We have Elpuria, moves beneficial effect. We don't want them to buff themselves though. We don't want them to move. Decrease target's attack bar. That's not bad. And then we have Punish passive. Your attack power increases by 20% every time you're attacked. No. Shylock is so much better than Elpuria all day for TOA. So probably everything. Okay, we have Grago, stun on the first skill. We have increases defense with the second skill. Increases defense and attack speed and immunity, and then we have protection of light. So this could be, generally I would say no for Grago, but this could be interesting to use if you are facing like dark monsters that are nukers. So he could be a good tanky light monster that you use to take the damage from dark monsters in any certain level. So generally in TOA, no, though, but there are some levels that you could maybe use him in. Alright, then we have Shaman as opposed to Amon. There's so many monsters that are so similar. Damage increase according to your attack speed, that's okay. This is special assault just like the Spectra, so that could be good against bosses. Then we have Guardian Angel passive, increases resistance by 20% and it decreases the inflicted damage from dark monsters by 50%. So built as a tank, but with crit damage for this, with pretty decent crit rate, crit damage, and speed, might be okay. He decreases the inflicted damage by dark monsters, but like I was saying about Grago, he would have a similar place. Okay. Critical hit, increase your attack bar. Stuns for 1 turn if the attack lands a critical hit. Okay, it's got a stun. And then we have Judgment of Light. Removes all beneficial effects from the target, inflicts significant damage. It's a single target though, and he's a squishy monster. So I would say no one Ellucian for TOA. We have Shren, continuous damage. No, not excited about that. Light, ignore defense monster. I like her, but for TOA, I don't know. And then remove all harmful effects on target and evens out the HP ratio. Really, for TOA, Shren is kind of taking up a spot. I like her for PvP. I like her for arena, for guild battles and stuff like that, but I don't think for TOA, no. And then we have Sia. Performs a ruthless combo, attacking the enemy 2 times, decreased attack power, continuous damage. And then we have decreased attack gauge by 20% with each attack. Maybe on Violent she might be good against bosses. 6 attacks, decrease the attack gauge by 20% with each attack. I could see her being used to, like if you don't have Hua, Sia could kind of take that place. Maybe we should build a Sia. Maybe we should. Alright, and we have Amon. Everyone knows what Amon does. He provokes, right? And then he does damage proportionate to his own max HP, not the enemy's max HP. And then we have this recovers every time you attack. So violent blade with high HP, high speed. You want him to get a lot of turns. This way he could heal a lot of times. Not that bad. I've used him in TOA before. He's a good healer, but he doesn't. Aside from the healer and the provoke with the first skill, he doesn't really bring anything else. Alright, we have Ashir, disturb HP recovery. We have recovers HP for all allies by 15% each, increase their attack speed for 2 turns. Attack speed boost. You don't want to use this on top of Bernard, but you could use this in place of. I mean, I'm just saying you don't want to use this when you have other attack speed, AoE attack speed boosters. But he does have this as well, the Massacre, which is element neutral, but it's only a single target attack. And for TOA, for the higher levels, you're not going to be able to nuke with this. You're not going to be able to actually kill things with this because they just have too much HP. So I think the Predator's Cry makes him the most useful in TOA. The same thing as the Vigor, though. So Vigor was like, it was okay, but there are better monsters for TOA. You could use it if you need to, but there's better stuff. Critical hit, okay. Damage proportional to the enemy's max HP. This is good for bosses. Maybe good for the TOA 100 if you can keep her alive, which might be a challenge. Phantom Crush. Damage proportional to the enemy's max HP and stuns for 1 turn. So 2 that do damage proportionate to the enemy's max HP. If you can keep her alive, that's the challenge. That's the real challenge. If you can keep her alive, she might be good. So you might have to do like a hybrid build for her if you want to keep her alive in TOA. She doesn't have any AoE skills, but she does do 2 skills with damage proportion to the enemy's max HP. We have Xiao Ling, stuns with the first skill, pretty nice. Counterattacks when attacked. Not excited about that. Yeah, I'm not really excited about Xiao Ling for a TOA. Alright, we have Darien. Okay, some people are going to say that they like to use Darien in TOA. I personally do not. He's got the defense break, he's got the attack break, and he has the knighthood passive. So anytime your monsters get attacked, they take 15% less damage. But he's taking up a slot that could be used for something that has area of effect skills, something that's a team buffer for your team, something that's that does weakening effects to the enemies. So he's just... I don't think that he's one of my choices for TOA. I really wouldn't put him in a TOA team, but I have friends that do it. And they're like, no, I like to use Darien. I'm like, man, you crazy. You crazy. Cray. Okay, so we have Walker's Bullseye, ignores defense potentially with the first skill, moves beneficial effect, and increases the attack gauge with this. Not too crazy about the first two skills. I have a 6-star Walker's. I wouldn't really use him for TOA. I don't think he's the greatest for TOA. But we have their Prison of Light, attacks and stuns the enemy for 1 turn and sets the enemy's skill cool times to the full amount. Attacks, it's a single target stun. Okay, but it does increase the skill cooldown to the full amount, which could be really nice in certain levels. So this has its uses, but I think that the Prison of Light is the only real thing that that he's got going on that I like him for in TOA. There's better stuff for that for your slot though. We have Chafron. Increase attack power if you get a critical hit. Recovering and counterattacking, and gets another turn. It's really... I don't like this for TOA. I don't like that Imp champion for TOA. We have Linda. Okay, first skill, continues damage. I'm not excited about that. Weakens defense. It's an AoE. Okay, area of effect skill, which weakens defense. Nice. And then we have another skill, another area of effect. Attacks and puts soul protection on the ally with the lowest HP ratio, which will automatically revive them. She's got 2 AoE skills. I think she could actually be pretty good for TOA. She's got 2 AoE. You put her on Despair with pretty good speed, and she might help you out a lot in TOA. Then we have Prom. Grim Sight acquires another turn if the enemy dies. Deadly Swing inflicts damage to all enemies with the Deadly Scythe. That's an AoE, second skill. And then Judgment, which already has a stun built in and decreased defense. Inflict damage is proportional to the enemy's max HP. So maybe even in TOA hard, he's got a stun built in. He's got 2 AoE skills. He's got a stun built in, and the damage is an AoE proportionate to the enemy's max HP. That's not that bad. Alright, so I think Prom is actually pretty good for TOA. Then we have Silver. First skill Stun, which is nice. This is in AoE, right? I haven't used Silver. I assume this is an AoE just like the other ones. Weakening defense. And then we have... This is another AoE, disturbs HP recovery. He's got 2 AoEs and a stun built in on the first one. He is just as good, in my opinion, as Zinc. I think I might say Zinc is a little tiny bit better. It depends on the stage, though. Sometimes this HP recovery disturb is pretty nice. But I think that I would put him right up there as far as usefulness. He's a tanky monster. He does damage based on his defense. He stuns with the first skill. And he's got 2 AoEs, so you might get a lot of those stuns in. So I actually do like Silver for TOA. We have Femi, which we'll just go over quick because most of you guys don't even have her. This is the same as the other archers for skill. Shoots wedged arrows at their enemies and decreases attack speed. Actually pretty nice. And then attacks with a powerful magic arrow. Either stun or decrease defense for 2 turns. I think she might not be that bad for TOA. She also has the increases crit damage of ally monsters by 25% leader skill. You guys are like, what is Femi? How do I get her? It was a long time ago. I think everyone that has Femi is a high level player now. That's still playing anyway. Or they're like abandoned early game accounts from when the game was first came out. But yeah. I wonder if we'll ever get another chance to get her. She's the only monster that has increased crit damage leader skill. So, then we have Tien Quinn. Decreased attack power first skill, recovers HP for all allies, decreases their chances of being attacked with a critical hit. Might not be that bad, but we don't want the enemies to attack though, that's the thing. That's the thing that we have. Attacks the enemy with Swift Strike, disturb HP recovery, and heals you for 50% of damage dealt. I don't like him for TOA. I don't really like him in general, but... we have Grow Tao, provoke first skill, increases attack gauge second skill, and Beastman. He just makes him very hard to kill, but he doesn't really do anything as far as TOA is concerned. Glenodon. Okay, this does damage based on the defense, inflicts continuous damage. And this is just added crit and damage based on defense, and this is it's just single target attacks. I'm not excited about him for TOA. Okay, then we have this. Chances of missing are blah blah blah. Prevent from using skills with cool times. Okay, could be useful. Decrease attack gauge and increases your attack gauge, which is nice. This could maybe be kind of takes the place of Hua, like I mentioned for the. I was mentioning it for who else? Who else? I don't remember who else did that, but yeah, whoever else did that. Oh yeah, the Sia. All right, but I think he's too squishy. I wouldn't recommend him for TOA necessarily. Okay, we have this Donna. We have stun with the first skill. That's nice. 2 times swift charge, decrease attack speed and defense for 2 turns. Could be okay. And then we have ready to attack, removes one of your harmful effects for all allies, increases the attack gauge by at least 15%. Attack gauge is additionally increased by 5%. We don't want them to attack though, so this is not going to be as useful. It's not as useful as Mav. Mav is better for TOA. We have Marble. Provoke with the first skill. That's nice. AoE decrease attack gauge. That's nice too. Okay, so we have an AoE decrease attack gauge. Plus, you could, if you want to put him on despair, you could stun with this. We have heavy breast implants. If it's a battle mammoth, of course he's gonna have heavy breast implants. Back to Summoner's War. Great damage. Damage proportionate to the max HP of yours and the enemies. So this is actually pretty good for TOA. I would suggest Battle Mammoth, the light Battle Mammoth might be pretty good for TOA. Okay, so we have the stun on the first skill for Fran, nice. Removes harmful effects and recovers HP. And recovers HP of all allies, increases their attack power for 2 turns. She pales in comparison to Chasun as far as healer is concerned, but she at least does have the leader skill, increases attack speed by 10%, which might come in handy. She could be useful in TOA. I think there's other things that are better, but if you don't have them, then she could be useful. Performs a lunge attack that damages an enemy, increase your crit rate, decrease attack power and attack speed, could be good against the boss. Is there a seam on his face? There's a seam on the texture, I didn't even notice that before. Wow. Someone messed up the texture, oh my god. Oh my god, don't worry, Pontos, I won't tell anyone. Oops. Covers 30% HP and 50% of the attack bar whenever you kill an enemy. I don't think he's good for, he's got a seam, and I don't think he's good for your TOA. Okay, stuns the first skill, nice. 3 times, and decreased defense, attacks an enemy target, and provokes and deals damage proportionate to your max HP. It's a 2-turn provoke, which is not bad. But I would not recommend him for TOA. There's better monsters for that slot. We have Sahara, continuous damage and damage proportion to your max HP. Slams. Is this an AoE? I feel like this is an AoE, right? I don't remember. I don't remember if this is an AoE. For some reason, I feel like it was an AoE when I used it. Could be okay if it's an AoE. And then we have, this is a revive. If this is an AoE, he's pretty good. But honestly, I don't have Sahara anyway. Oh, do I have Sahara? No, I don't have Sahara, do I? No. But yeah. If this is an AoE, then that's good. And a revive on it is nice as well. He could be like a mini Brian. So that might not be that bad. But if it's a single target skill, he loses his awesomeness over there. We have Driller, stun on the first skill. All enemies decrease attack bar by 30% each. Nice. I like this for TOA. 4 times. And then if the enemy's max HP is lower than yours. TOA, when you start getting into TOA hard and TOA higher levels, enemy's max HP is not going to be higher than yours. I mean, enemy's max HP is going to be higher than yours. So you keep that in mind. Okay, we have Lucian. Really does nothing exciting with the first skill for TOA anyway. Stunning it for 1 turn with a second skill. Okay. 30% chance. I don't know how much this goes. It's been a while since I looked at his skills. I don't remember how much it goes with the after you level him up. Deal substantial damage if the enemy is frozen, stunned, or asleep. Damage of this attack will be increased by 30%. I don't like him for TOA. Increased attack speed is good, but I don't like his skills for TOA. Then we have Chamie. Deter enemies' HP recovery. I wish it had. I wish it was a freeze, like Soha. And then we recover over here, and then we remove all harmful effects. Increases your attack power and defense. She's really she could be a good farmer, but really for TOA, no, not for TOA. Then we have this, removing a beneficial. There's something. Akasha is not. There's something with her skills that's not the same as it says. Text an enemy, small ray of light, removing beneficial effect, and if the attack lands a greater. This is removes all beneficial effects. I think that was the thing. It removes all beneficial effects probably. Puts these target skill on cooldown, which is nice. Single target. Reduce all damage that the target will receive to 0 for 3 turns. This could be good for. Let's see. Like those, whatchamacallit, those set, like really heavy single target attackers, single target nukers that are maybe in TOA hard, and you're like, oh my god, I'm not going to be able to debuff them enough. You could just put this absolute defense on a monster, and then they could just get destroyed, but not destroyed at all. So that could actually be pretty fun to use in some of the levels with single target nukers in TOA. Increases crit rate here, attacks all enemies, and increases the chance of landing a glancing hit. Nice, AoE glancing hit. Attacks all enemies, cyclone, 15% chance to stun the enemy. Very good for TOA. He's got double. He's already has a built-in stun on the 3rd skill, and he's got a glancing hit on the 2nd. And he's got. I think he's very good for TOA. Yes, he's one of the better TOA monsters. All right, we have Mihail. Sharp blade, continuous damage, and puts the target skills on cooldown. That's very nice as well. Single target, but it's very nice. If it was more than a single target, she would be Zeros and it would be overpowered. Recovers the HP of all allies by 30% and increases their defense for 3 turns. This is actually a nice skill for TOA. I definitely like this. I definitely like Mihail as a healer for TOA. Very nice. And we have Arya, actually one of the better TOA monsters in the game. We have Sleep for first skill. We have Stun if the enemy is already asleep. And then we have this Curse of the White Knight, which is beautiful. Very good AoE attack. Reduces attack speed of all enemies and increases the enemy's chances of landing a glancing hit. And if you have her on Despair, she could stun as well. So that's pretty ridiculous 3rd skill for TOA. We have Figaro, Disturb HP recovery for 2 turns with a 70% chance. We have Surprise Box, which actually I think is underrated. You know, I think Lucian's amputation magic gets all the hype that you forget that Surprise Box is an AoE that does random harmful effects. It's actually not that bad. So that's pretty good for a TOA actually. And then we have Camouflage passive, cancels the incoming down to the 25% chance. And a beneficial effect on the targeted enemy will be removed every time you perform an attack. Man, I haven't used him. That would mean that this Surprise Box removes beneficial effects as well. That could be cool. Yeah, that could be fun. Alright. Yeah, Figaro could be nice for remove beneficial effects, because that's what it says. Beneficial effects will be removed every time you perform an attack. You could AoE remove beneficial effects and inflict harmful effects. That's not bad. Then we have this, continuous damage, reduces the enemy's attack gauge, and we have this, it's an AoE that gives them a chance to land a glancing hit. I know everyone's like, oh, Jin sucks. Jin sucks compared to Arya, maybe. Okay, Arya is a stronger version of him, but if you don't have Arya and you do have a Jin, he's got an AoE glancing hit, and you can also have a stun on him as well. He could be good for TOA. So he also has an amazing leader skill if you're running a TOA light team. So keep that in mind. And I did a video on that already, using him in TOA. What do we have here? Removes beneficial effect, continuous damage, not excited about that. 100 crit rate under targets under inability effects. If you have full HP, this attack will not go on cooldown. Really gotta see her more in action to see. But this is just a single target attack though. So I wouldn't choose her necessarily for TOA. We have Lewis, we have a stun on the first skill, we have decreased attack speed with the second skill, and we have you and a target ally will become invincible for half your current HP. That could be cool. I think Lure is probably better for TOA, but Lewis... 2-turn invincibility for 2 monsters. It could be nice for, again, for like the nuker things. Like, you know, you go into one level and it's got a lot, it's like really heavy fire nukers. You'd be like, oh, okay, well, I'll just take a wind monster and put the invincibility on them. So, could be useful. Where are we? We are on Yona. Yona's a great reviver. She just heals and revives. Very nice. It's basically cut and dry. I like Brind, to be honest. It's more for TOA. But there's some places where you're like, okay, Yona, you need to be in here. We have Chris, the magical archer. Damage increase according to her attack speed, and stun or decrease defense. I don't like her for TOA. Alright, what do we have here? Decrease attack speed with the first skill, continuous damage with the second, elongates the harmful effect on the enemy for 1 turn. Damage is increased by 30% if the enemy's HP is below 50%. Oh, we gotta try that out. We tried her out though. We tried her out a while ago. I just don't remember how we were using her. But harmful effect elongation could be nice for boss levels. Decreased speed, and the dots really aren't gonna work, but this could be nice. This could be nice. She could be useful in some boss levels. Alright, we have Conrad, Disturb HP recovery. AoE attack power weakened, very nice. And we have this is actually not that bad for TOA. This is the least useful one for raids, but this is pretty good for TOA if we kill it, because you can kind of be like, okay, we're gonna almost kill a monster now, so we can revive and kill something at the same time. If there's no revivable ally on the shield, all allies will receive a damage-absorbing shield for 2 turns. Amount of absorption differs according to your monster's level. You don't get the shield or the revive in raids, though. That's the thing, because you don't kill anything. So, there's really nothing to kill aside from the boss, and if you kill the boss, GG, you're done. So, but this is actually could be good for TOA. Conrad could be pretty good for TOA. We have Halfos, decrease attack speed with the first skill. Consume souls, recovers by 50% of the inflicted damage. Absorbs the enemy's attack gauge. Could be nice. Could be nice. And the endless attachment passive, invincible. This does not work as well as it says it does. This should work every turn. If you suck up their HP, but I've seen this not work every turn. So, because you should be able to heal and then keep becoming invincible, and then this should be ridiculous. Good arena skill though, but this is TOA, and I don't like him for TOA. Defense break here, attack speed buff here, and then AoE. Oh, attacks all enemies 2 times. Shining Sword energy. Each attack deals 25% inflicted damage if they're under weakening effects, which we wanted to have a lot of on TOA. Guaranteed a critical hit if it's a dark attribute. Actually, I think this is, if you're doing any samurai for TOA, Tosi might be the way to go. Don't do that. Don't do that. Okay, so what do we have next? We're not horrible. We still got a lot left to go. We have Lume, Energy Ball going into Twist Kick, decrease the attack bar, which is nice for bosses. If the attack bar is depleted, target is stunned for 1 turn, which could be good against not bosses. Strikes for random targets, which absorbs 25% of the target's attack bar, and you can potentially counter, which can go into the Energy Ball, which can go into the Twist Kick. She might be pretty good for TOA. I think she could be useful for TOA. We have Gemini. Violent proc basically built in for the first skill. AoE weakened defense for the second skill. If you want to put him on Despair, maybe. I don't know. Have we even done a video on Gemini? I don't even know if we have. And we did the dark one, right? And then we have increases the attack power by 50% if your HP ratio is lower than the target enemy's HP ratio. Removes 1 beneficial effect of the enemy if you have less beneficial effects than the enemy. Yeah, no, I don't like Gemini for TOA necessarily. Wait, what was his leader skill? Increases attack speed. The leader skill is nice though. Then we have Dover. Damage increases for each harmful effect on the... Sorry about that, guys. Pontos wants me to shut up, so they crashed my thing. Why? This happens on like every iOS device. Every iOS device the game crashes. And Pontos says it doesn't. They're like, no, you're wrong. It doesn't crash. It's just you. Bitch, it crashed on all my iOS devices, okay? That's a you thing, Pontos. That's a you thing. And it's not just me. It's many people. It's a lot of people I know. So maybe you want to fix that. It's only been 2 years, right? Okay, so Dover. Bombers are good for TOA. They ignore defense. Also, they have a secret stun, basically. Because bombs, when they detonate, they stun. And then we have attacks all enemies, decrease attack age by 50%, stuns the enemies for 1 turn with a 50% chance. I think Dover is fantastic for TOA. Fantastic. Dover is an amazing TOA monster. Okay. Very nice. Good job, Dover. Then we have Huadam. Fake attack. Not excited about that. This is an AoE decrease attack age, which is nice for TOA. You can put him on Despair and potentially stun with that. You have Secretive Guard, which is going to basically just automatically revive. So that's not that bad. So he's pretty good. He's on par with Brian, I guess, for TOA as far as that's concerned. It depends on the level. Sometimes he's better, sometimes Brian is better, but he's usually... Huadam is just... You don't even need to revive. He just revives anyway, automatically. Oh my god. Okay, so we have Mimir, Dots, attacks an enemy, leaves a brand, not excited about that. Depleting its attack bar and stunning it for 1 turn. Not really excited about Mimir for TOA, honestly. Brig, defense break, absorb attack gauge, and decreasing attack power and defense, preventing the target from receiving beneficial effects. Some levels he might be okay for, but we don't really want the enemies to move to get those beneficial effects anyway. We have Molly. Removes beneficial effect. Not excited about that for TOA necessarily. Removes all harmful effects on an ally target cast a shield. Not my favorite skill either. Increases chances of landing a glancing hit on an ally target by 20% and recovers the ally with the lowest HP ratio by 10%. She could be used in TOA. She's not my favorite though. She's not my favorite. There's better monsters for that slot in my opinion. Okay, so we have Bladesurge. We already know these Magic Knights are good for Despair with their first skill. She has higher base speed than the other ones, doesn't she? Don't she? Increases, okay, Awakening increases her attack speed. That's why. And then we have prevents them from using skills with cooldowns for 2 turns, which is like the fire one, I believe. And then we have attacks 3 times. And ally with... Okay, so we disturb the target's HP recovery, and ally with low HP ratio will be healed by the same amount as the damage dealt by this attack. To be honest, I think there's better Magic Knights. There's better monsters for that slot. There's better Magic Knights for that slot. Alright, we have Exposed Weakness. Attacks the enemy looks for its weakness. Defense Break. That's a brand. And the Silent Reaper, she farts on the enemy, prevents it from using skills with cooldowns. If the target dies, all other enemies will receive the harmful effect. You gotta use her with the right team that's gonna nuke. So she would be good with the nuke team, but really not my #1 pick for TOA. Okay. Increased attack power, continuous damage and defense break, and then attacks that perform on your turn. He's got a self shield. I don't love him for TOA either. Alright, then we have this glancing hit. Removes all harmful effects on ally target and fills up the ally's attack bar. Okay. Then we have this Neostone Field, protects allies with holy powers. Target will become invincible for 2 turns, and all other allies will receive Endure for 1 turn. I feel like if you're in the position that you need this Neostone Field, you're probably just gonna die anyway the next turn after that. So, yeah, Ileana. And if you guys are wondering, yes, I got Ileana the other day. So I had a light dark scroll, I picked it up, and she popped out, and I was like, what? So it was pretty fun, but I'm like, I would rather have the dark one. Do you blame me? I would rather have the dark one. We have Amarna, disturb HP recovery, and brand, and all dead allies will be revived with 20% of their HP. You'll be healing the ally with the lowest HP ratio automatically on each turn. Healing amount is proportionate to your attack power. I think this is the only reason you would have him in your team in TOA. So this is okay, but the first and second skills I'm not excited about. Then we have Misty. When you go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, take a Misty pee. Okay, god damn it. Back on track. Decreases target's attack speed, good for bosses. Attack the target 4 times, glancing hit. Not excited about that for TOA. Really? Is this an AoE? I haven't seen this yet. Is this an AoE? If this is an AoE, then it's good. But I don't know if it's an AoE. Long waiting passive, becomes immune against inability effects. Also, your attack power is increased for every beneficial effect on you. I don't like him for TOA. Actually, a Chroma. Okay. We have a regular attack. Potentially attacks from one into the other, preventing them from using skills with cooldowns. Damage proportion to the max HP. And then this is immunity against all harmful effects and decreases the chance of receiving a critical hit by 15%. Is a Chroma good? Yes. Is a Chroma dangerous when you're fighting against her in TOA? Yes. Is a Chroma a good monster to bring with you in an offensive team in TOA? No. I'm sorry. I'm gonna actually say that a Chroma, one of the best monsters in the game, is not a good TOA monster. Is not a good monster for your team in TOA. When you're fighting against her in TOA, she's dangerous. Very dangerous. But when you bring her, if you have a Chroma, then you lucky SOB. But not the best. Honestly, Shannon the Wind Pixie is a better monster than a Chroma for offense in TOA. Call me crazy, but it's the truth. So she just brings more to the table. A Chroma really doesn't. So we have Zerath. Shoots a light arrow at the enemy. Oh my god, OP. We have calls upon the holy power of light, healing all allies by 15% of their HP and removing 2 harmful effects from each ally. Okay, so it's a heal. Then we have Armageddon, sacrifices half of your current HP to deal damage to all enemies. Damage is proportionate to the sacrificed HP. And what HP he has. Wow. Yeah. So Zerath is definitely, he's got a heal, he's got a cleanse, and he's got a nuke AoE skill. Zerath I think is very good for TOA. Then we have Ludia. She's got a stun with the first skill, I like that. Then we have the Holy Energy Insta. No one has these damn monsters anyway. Why am I even talking about the Nat 5 Light Dark monsters? Stuns them for 1 turn if you get a critical hit, so stun, that's nice. And then removes the beneficial effects and deals damage to all enemies with Holy Fire and prevents them from receiving beneficial effects for 1 turn. This could be good if you don't have enough stuns on your team and the enemy is actually getting attacks. If the enemy isn't getting attacks and you have them basically locked down, they're not moving, then you don't really need it. But yeah. But it's a fucking light chicken, man. It's awesome. So we have continuous damage for 1 turn. We have the Squall, which is a very, very strong single target attack. And we have Holy Calling, stuns up to 3 enemies. I already like this. You already know I like this. Including the designated target, and heals yourself. If there is not enough enemies to stun, excessive stuns will heal allies with low health. Healing amount is based on your max HP. So you already know I like Sean for TOA. And we have Julian. Alright. Heals with the first skill. Attack receives a 30% crit rate bonus. Nothing exciting for the first 2 skills. Immortality passive. Power of immortality that protects you from dying from a normal attack. Crit and continuous damage excluded. Increases the enemy's chance of landing a glancing hit. I actually don't like Julian for TOA offense, to be honest. Crazy, I know. I'm crazy, I'm saying, like, I don't like this monster for TOA. All these light dark, or light nat 5s. Attacks the enemy, recovers attack gauge, removes beneficial effects and doing dots. Very nice, very nice, very nice. Removes all harmful effect on all allies. Invincible for 1 turn, recovers HP by 15% for 3 turns. Good healer. Also good against some of those levels where they actually get to move and someone buffs the team, like the Megan, if you're playing against Megan or something like that. You know, very, very nice for that. And if they have the buffs, or you could just put her in a team and let them attack, because you're like, okay, I'm going to make short work of this. All those buffs are going to turn into dots as soon as I move. So, GG. GG. Then we have Laura. So yeah, I think the light Oracle is good for TOA. Puts the enemy to sleep, which is nice. I like this. Attacks all enemies, stunning them for 1 turn. Yes, beautiful AoE stun. Beautiful, beautiful. Attacks all enemies 3 times. Proportionate to your max HP. Decrease their attack power for 3 turns. Another beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Occult Girl is amazing for TOA. Love them. Beautiful. Amazing. Awesome. Alright, then we have Jagermeister. Continuous damage for 2 turns with the first skill. Damage increases according to the number of dead allies. And then we have gains immunity against inability effects and increases your attack power by 20% each time your allies become incapacitated or die. I don't love him for TOA. He's not that useful for TOA. Not that useful for TOA. We have whatever. We got this guy, the Light Monkey King. I'm not gonna bother. Attacks the Monkey Wand and stuns the enemy for 1 turn with 35% chance. Stun on the first skill, very nice. Good base speed. As well, attacks all enemies, decrease their attack gauge, very nice. This is as well very good. Attacks all enemies, double AoE, and a light monster. Already good, love it. With the stun on the first skill, love it, love it. Deals damage proportionate to the enemies and puts them to sleep or decreases attack power for 2 turns. This is not attack power, this is attack speed. Because we tried this and it was worded incorrectly, unless it was... Yeah. I don't know if they changed it since, or if it was attack speed and it was changed to attack... I don't know. But this is, I believe this is attack speed. So this is even better. Attack speed break is even better. So double AoEs. One decreases attack gauge, the other one decreases speed, and the stun on the first one. He's one of the better monsters for TOA. Beautiful, amazing, love him. Then we have this, not excited about that. We have the heal, little heal. And counter attacks the attacker when you or your allies attacked with a critical hit, increases attack gauge by 15%. We don't want the enemies to attack though. So not going to be that useful if we're trying to do what we're trying to do. Okay, weakens defense for 1 turn and increases attack speed if you get a critical hit. Very nice. We have a little heal on that. And then we have AoE with glancing hit. Attack power increases as your max HP increases. So it's an AoE, he's got a heal on him, and he's got an attack speed buff as well. Shazam! So he's pretty good for TOA actually. Man, it's like a crapshoot though. Like half these Nat 5s, light dark monsters are like, oh, this one's good for TOA, oh, this one sucks for TOA, oh, this one's good for TOA, oh, this one sucks for TOA. But every monster's built differently though. Continuous damage with the first skill, cutting all enemies in front. Attack increases by 50% if they're suffering continuous damage, which if you have her with Beretta, then great. Great. And then another AoE, continuous damage as well. Well, she does continuous damage as well, so there you go. But she's got 2 AoEs. I don't see a lot of these Hell Ladies being ruined for despair, but it could work. It could work. She does a lot of damage. She's more for, I think she's more for a nuke strategy than a despair strategy. She's more for like you use her with Galleon and stuff like that and you nuke levels. But yeah, she does AoE dots. Weakens defense, inflicts continuous damage. I think she's really good. She's got double AoE, she does dots, and she does weaken defense. I think she's really good for TOA, actually. So, we have Yin Hong. How many people actually have some of these monsters? Like, no one. Everyone, I'm just talking to myself now. Everyone turned off the video. They're like, I don't have these Nat 5 light monsters. Shit. Attacks with a graceful PP touch, glancing hit. Enemy 3 times. Remove beneficial effects. We don't want them to get beneficial effects. Fills up the target's attack gauge to the fullest amount and recovers the HP by 25%. Your attack gauge is also increased by 50%. Honestly, I don't actually like her that much for TOA. Okay, then we have Nigong. We have Sleep with the first skill. I like that. Damage increases according to your lost HP. And then we have Shield. The ally revives automatically for 30% HP if the ally dies with this skill is active. This could be pretty good, but it's not my first choice for monsters with for TOA. Honestly, I think Wuchi, the wind Taoist is better than Nigong for TOA. It seems crazy, but that's the reality of it. Essence Explosion. Defense break, shield portion to your level. Okay, so same as Brandia. Shield and attack break on the enemies. That could be okay. And then we have brutal order. Instantly recovers the ally's target turn and also reduces the target's cooldown in effect by 2 turns. In return, the ally target will receive 10% of his max HP as damage. So could be pretty nice. It's kind of like in the same area as the Resurge, but a little bit stronger since it reduces the cooldowns, like Konamiya's Resurge, but would not be my first choice though. And then we have Pontos, transferring a weakening effect. We don't really want him to get hit by weakening effects in the first place. AoE prevents them from using skills with cooldowns, very nice. Sanctuary removes all harmful effects on all allies and grants them immunity and invincibility for 1 turn. This could be nice too. I think Pontos is a good monster for TOA as well. Then we have Isis, the monster everyone wants. Decrease attack power with the first skill, attacks an enemy and removes all beneficial effects, puts target to sleep. We don't really want them to get beneficial effects though. And then puts all enemies into oblivion and prevents them from using skills with cool times for 2 turns. Passive skills aren't activated in an oblivion state. So basically you go to all the enemies and you say, hey, all of you, hey, F off right now. You do nothing. You're all little bitches. I really want to curse sometimes, guys. I really want to curse. Increase attack power. Oblivion is just great against everything. Prevents them from using skills with cool times and puts them all into oblivion. So even if you have things like Pernas and Theomars and Tessarion, isn't there a level? There's a level with 2 Tessarion and 3 Theomars or something like that. Just Gaze of Oblivion to all of them. GG. Very nice. None of their passives work. Alright. Ice is very good for TOA. And then we have Wedget. Deals damage to an enemy, decreases attack bar, very nice. Increases defense of all allies, decreases chance of receiving critical hits, very nice for that as well. And then we have Duty of the Monarch, covers the attack bar of the ally with the lowest attack bar by 25%, increases that ally's attack power for 1 turn. So you want him to be super fast, violent runes, get lots of turns, just he's one of those monsters that's the same vein as Vertiheal and Bernard. He's just going to be there to give your monsters tons and tons more turns. Plus, he helps their survivability by the defense increase and the reduced chances of getting crit on. So yeah, but the second skill might not even come into play if you're getting so many turns that you keep pushing their attack gauges back and stunning them so much that they don't move. If you have the right team built with it, or if you have a very control-heavy team built with it. But yeah, he could be good. He could be good for TOA though. He could be good for TOA just giving your monsters so many extra turns to move. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. So tired now. These videos take so much out of me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. I will see you, as always, in the next one.